Hey everyone, I'm just recording a reaction video, last minute decision. I started watching through that John Wolfe video that I linked to you guys on the community tab last night. And just some of it I just found interesting because I was doing that poll the other day asking if you're a believer, a skeptical believer, skeptic, like whatever. I'm just going to react to part of it because I was kind of enjoying him identifying audience types and stuff. So yeah, let's get into it. Also, I will link his video as well. And I apologize for not looking fancy or anything. I'm drinking tea and thought that I would just kind of randomly do this video.
So to explain the category of people I make debunking videos for, I figured I'd make up some categories of my own. Over the past year of making these types of videos, I have noticed that there's generally 4 types of people that watch them. Let's go ahead and make a fun little quadrant graph. The x-axis we'll call belief, and it goes from believer on the left to skeptic on the right. People who believe or are open to belief in paranormal content versus people who are skeptical about it or outright refuse to even consider the possibility that it's real. And the y-axis we'll call attitude, and that'll range from defensive at the bottom to receptive at the top. People who are defensive when confronted with evidence that may change their perspective, and people who are curious and open to the idea. So with that, here's the 4 groups of people I get watching my debunking videos. Let's start with group 1. These people are skeptics about paranormal subject matter, and they're also receptive towards the video presentation. They know this stuff is fake, but they're interested to hear what people have to say about it. We'll call them the receptive skeptic. I would say the majority of feedback I get comes from this group. They watch my video, they agree with at least most of the points that are brought up, and they understand why the video was made. In other words, they're geniuses. Here's a sample comment from my first video about the Conjuring House debacle. This video is perfection in terms of describing science and how it works, and the vast amount of information you give. Amazing job. Now, of course, I love reading comments like this. After all, who doesn't like hearing from people who agree with you? And while I love reading feedback like this, the receptive skeptic is not who I'm making videos for. Check out the first part of the comment. Despite the obviousness of them being scammers. So this person clearly was able.
I totally get what he's saying. I mean, I agree with what he's saying too, but I also make videos for this group because when you're in this group, most likely, the majority of my people are. I'm just watching the edit of this video and I'm just realizing his first group is where I see skeptical believers, I guess, in my audience. I suppose receptive skeptics, I don't know. I think I kind of get it mixed up. I see receptive skeptics in you guys. I feel like we're all kind of together. I feel like we're all on the same page, even the skeptical believers. And I think in rewatching this edit, I'm seeing who I call the unicorns are the people that are sort of on the brink of, falling out of that aggressive. You'll see with the rest of this video. So just excuse if you're misunderstanding where I'm picking up as well. I'm kind of combining my audience in a different way because I think in my head I label you guys a little bit differently, or not label, but in my head, I see everyone a little bit differently than what he's seeing people as you can see by my community poll as well. We're showing this. When you are out there in the world and you talk to somebody and they try to fight you on, oh, the Conjuring House is real or this is real or whatever. What we're doing is we're giving you ammunition, the information of what you can give to people, right? You may not have done the research and we're giving you that so that you have that available for your argument. And I think he's going to get into shortly here. I haven't finished watching it, but I saw a comment on my community tab. But I think he's going to get into him trying to, I think he wants to convert people that are believers, and you can't really convert people that are defensive and believers, right? We'll finish watching this as well, but this is why I wanted to kind of do a commentary, a little quick reaction to this video, because I do think what he's doing is great, but we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of I treat my audience and the people that are going to watch my video, I guess like I've just had more experience over my life as well. And I just kind of know like psychologically, if someone's very defensive, it's very difficult to convince them otherwise. And yes, we're going to get these receptive skeptics, but then the receptive believers are going to be like, they do show up and watch my videos sometimes and they say, oh my God, thank you. Like, I didn't realize this and now I understand. And those people are great. And those people ideally are who we want, to give this information to. But they are rare, like a unicorn. So, all right, let's watch some more of what he gets into here.
Able to tell that something was amiss in the Conjuring House series, and they may have been able to figure out exactly what was going on all on their own without my help. This is a person who is probably already very media literate, so while my videos may be entertaining to them and they may glean an interesting fact here or there, I'm probably not going to blow any minds. Anyway, love you, Group 1.
Okay, but like you proved and you showed that Nukes was adding sound effects to videos, and none of us had that proof before. We didn't realize how bad it was. We didn't have proof of it. And you gave us that proof. And now we use your video to push back against people. So John, I know you're not going to see this video, but you'd be surprised. Your videos do help us, the receptive skeptics, more than you realize. All right. You do actually help more than you realize.
On the opposite side of the graph, we have Group 2. These people are believers in paranormal content, and they're also defensive towards alternative explanations. We'll call them the defensive believer. It's not an eloquent name, but frankly, most of the other opposite words for skeptic are kind of demeaning. So I was trying to do y'all a favor, believe it or not. I get a fair number of comments from this group. They're usually younger people who generally don't listen to anything I say in the video outside of maybe the first 2 minutes or so.
Yeah, they don't actually watch the video. That's the thing. They're not our audience. They don't watch the video. They click on it, leave a nasty comment, and click off. And I know because I've been testing people in my videos by getting people who watch my videos. I get you guys to leave comments about certain things. And the people who are really defensive and angry, like I know also because a lot of times they bring up stuff that I've answered in the video. And that's why I know they haven't watched the video.
And they tend to want to broaden the debate outside of the specific topic of the video. They'll be like, okay, so let's say the clip is fake. So you're saying nothing happens after you die? Here's another sample from that same Conjuring House video, which I'll try to use for all the sample comments just to keep things consistent. My question to all of you praising this video as exposing ghosts aren't real: what's your defense to the millions of people that have had encounters? Now, if you
Yeah, I get things like, oh, if you don't believe psychics are real, do you not believe in God? I'm like, what does that have to do with psychics?
actually watched the Conjuring House video, the point of it wasn't to disprove ghosts. That's not a central topic of the video at all. And
Yeah, it's like with the Warrens, right? I'm not trying to disprove that there isn't something else out there. I'm just trying to show you guys that the Warrens were scam artists, right?
it's not the point of any of my videos, I'd argue. The video is about exposing a pair of fake psychics who were scamming people. But that's the thing about Group 2. They're not here to argue with me or the actual content of the video. I never said ghosts don't exist, but at some point in this person's life, I'd be willing to bet someone did say that to them. And now every skeptic they meet has all the same opinions as that person did. And that's who they're arguing with here.
And a lot of skeptics were skeptical believers. The majority of us are, to be honest, on YouTube. Out in the world, in the skeptical community, I think it's a little bit more skeptic than anything else. But on YouTube, a lot of us, the majority of us, are skeptical believers.
Some nebulous skeptic chimera. So all that to say, this is also not the group that I make videos for. I'm not interested in wasting my time or anyone else's by presenting someone
Same. I'm not interested in talking to people that aren't watching the video and just want to argue
with information they're not receptive to hearing. I hope one day the people in Group 2 will at least consider alternative logical explanations for paranormal YouTube content, but I'm also not gonna lose sleep over it. Next, we have Group 3. They're believers in the paranormal and they like paranormal content, but they're also receptive to the idea that maybe there is a more grounded, rational explanation for what they're seeing. Depending on the video, I can see a lot of comments from this group, or I can barely get any. The Conjuring House videos,
It's because the percentage of them out there is very small, right? Like, I mean, if I just look at, sorry, I don't know how loud that was on my desk. Like, if I just look at, I don't know, let me bring up my most recent psychic video. That would be Tyler Henry. 562 comments on the Tyler Henry video, and I'd say probably 200 are my replies to people. Okay, so let's say 360. Let's say 350. On that Tyler Henry video, out of the 350 comments, I think I seen about 5 people who were receptive believers who were like, oh, I didn't realize that's how he did it. It's a very small percentage. They're like unicorns out in the world. And like once they find someone who starts like showing them some critical thinking, they start applying it to everything else and they quickly become receptive skeptics. And John, this is where you don't understand. They want more ammunition so that they can have these conversations with people. And you think that this is not your audience, but it is. Receptive skeptics are still your audience, and don't discount them because they're looking for more information.
had a lot of activity from Group 3 though. Here's just one example. As a Sam and Colby subscriber, I absolutely hear you. The tone of your video is so neutral and focused on facts and evidence, it helped me gain a new alternative perspective.
Yeah, John's really good at staying calm. I would say, like, I don't know. I think I get kind of bitchy about psychics and stuff for sure. And a lot of the skeptical videos too. I think we're just at a point where we're frustrated, a lot of the skeptics. John's pretty good though. He's pretty good at staying neutral.
I love this comment. I'm not looking for someone to totally agree with me on everything, but if I can help someone understand and appreciate a more evidence-based perspective, then that makes me feel really good about the videos that I'm making. As someone who's drastically changed their mind about a lot of things over the course of their life, I think the willingness to change your opinion on something in light of new information is a trait that's far too rare these days. Group 3 is exactly who I have in mind when I make my videos. People who may take paranormal videos at face value, but they're also curious about and interested in just how fictional they are. And maybe by pointing out possible alternative explanations, it can help them more easily navigate the online landscape by determining the trustworthiness of what they're seeing. In other words, media literacy. And I want to clarify that I do not mean that in a condescending way at all. For a long time in my own life, like I just said, I'll just say that I believed in a lot of things that I don't anymore. And I now know that I only believe.
Yeah, like I'm the same too. And a lot of it was my upbringing, right? But I'm trying to apply like critical thinking to a lot of stuff. And he's calling it media literacy, which is great either way. I do think that he's not understanding that the skeptical believers, like the ones that he doesn't think are his audience, are his audience and still do take stuff out of each other's videos. We all learn from each other. And I think he's dropping the ball on this aspect and he's not realizing it. Maybe it's because he's kind of new to the skeptical kind of community or something. Because I think he just started doing it. I can't remember his history, but I think he was fairly new at it. I will try to leave a comment. I'm not great at articulating this stuff through text. I will try to leave a comment on his video to let him know. I don't know if he's going to see it, but I do hope that he doesn't discount, because we still watch his videos, like skeptical believers and skeptics will still watch his videos so we can understand, like, we don't have all the time in the world to research everything. And that's why we watch each other's stuff, because, oh, you did the research? Okay, great. I'm doing the research on this psychic. You're doing the research on nukes. I'm going to watch your video and learn about nukes. You know, you can watch my video and learn about this psychic, right? Like, I think he's misunderstanding or not seeing the benefit that he is giving to skeptical believers and skeptics as well.
Those things because I didn't have all the information. For example, I used to be terrified of the occult and witchcraft and spirits,
I was never
particularly
scared of it, though.
demons, to the point where I would be kept up all night after reading a creepy story about someone's alleged real-life experience in a haunted
Yeah, I've heard people get like really scared. I was raised very weirdly. So yeah, I get that.
home, or their encounters with evil spirits, things like that. And it took me a long time to get over those fears, but one thing that really helped was seeing the prevalence of logical, alternative explanations for those things, for those experiences. So, believe me when I say, I do not look down on people who believe in the paranormal content that I make debunking videos on. In fact, they're the very people that I'm making the videos for. But sadly, not everyone believes that Group 3 even exists. This brings me to the fascinating Group 4. They're skeptics.
They exist. They're just once they've turned, like once they've seen one thing and turned, they then become the receptive skeptic. They just need that one moment that they're like, "Oh," and then they move over into the other group. It's they're only in that group for a short period, but giving them more information so they have more ammunition and understanding is key, right? Defensive skeptic. Let's see what he says about this one, actually.
Of paranormal content, but
The
curiously,
music. I love
they'll
his
also
music
defend it from
changes.
criticism. Here's a good example. Sure, it's fake, but it's entertaining.
That's true. Actually, I get a lot of this as well for my Warren stuff. Sure, they're fake, but it's entertainment. Okay, Alexa just went off. And then I also get like a lot of that in the psychic videos that I have where they're like, well, they're giving people relief from their grief. It's like, no. I love his music changes, by the way. I don't have time to do this much with the music, but I love it. I love it so much.
Which is the point. Now, I wouldn't say I get a ton of comments from this group, but it's enough that I've definitely noticed the patterns. Ain't no way people believe these. Like everyone knows this, it's an entertainment channel, dude.
Oh, yeah. And then the other ones I get on the psychic one, they're like, well, people are stupid for believing this stuff. Why even make this video? They're just idiots. It's like, no, they're not dumb. They're just in a bad spot in life. Yeah. These people are always really aggressive, too.
Get a life. These channels don't force you to believe anything. It's your choice if you want to believe something obviously fake. So what, bro? You're just ruining it. It's really obvious that sometimes they're talking nonsense. Okay, the actual point is entertainment. I don't know who would think that these videos are 100% for real. It's called entertainment. That's what YouTubers' jobs are, to entertain for views. The same thing you are doing.
Yeah. Okay. So you have self-awareness, Mr. Commenter here. A majority of people don't.
Everyone in their right mind knows ghosts don't exist. Group 4 tends to be incredulous. It's like they are offended that I would dare suggest that they need an explanation that the paranormal videos they watch are.
Oh, I hope his music isn't copyright. If his music is copyright, I will be removing it from the video. If you're wondering, if I'm talking about music and you don't hear any, it'll be because this music is copyright.
Real. They take it personally. They think I'm insulting their intelligence.
Because of the implication.
You know, I'd argue that, in a remarkable twist of irony, this group has much lower media literacy than they think they do. They have enough of it to where they can tell when things don't quite add up in a YouTube video. Maybe they notice an inconsistency in a story someone's telling. Maybe they know some video editing tricks. Maybe they catch a slip of the tongue from the narrator or one of the hosts. They have enough media literacy to be able to detect that there are deceptive practices in the video they're watching, but they don't have enough to see why it's a problem. And that's because they're not considering the context. In their minds, and this is the best I can figure, it's my theory, in their minds, they're like, well, I know it's not real, so therefore, no one thinks it's real. Everyone knows this. I don't know who would think these are real. Everyone in their right mind knows ghosts don't exist. But see, that's the thing, Ares, god of war. Just because you don't believe ghosts exist doesn't mean no one else believes they exist. That is a profoundly ignorant perspective to have. The idea that someone could genuinely be under the impression that only the truly unhinged believe in ghosts and the paranormal is so out of touch with reality that I have to wonder if they pay attention to the world outside of themselves at all. When's the last time you went outside, Nosferatu? To me, a crucial part of media literacy is understanding context. How the media you're consuming fits into the world around you. And if you completely
Yeah, that is a really good quote right there. Yeah.
ignore that aspect, like the people in Group 4 enthusiastically do, then you're missing key information. Because yes, some people did watch Sam and Colby's Conjuring House series thinking the fake psychics were real. And yes, some people did watch The Blackwell Ghost thinking it was a real documentary. Yes, some people did watch the series premiere of Ghost Adventures thinking that Johanna Jewell was a real historical person. And yes, some people do watch paranormal clip channels like Bizarre Bub and Nuke's Top 5 thinking that they're watching real clips. These are the people I talked about in groups 2 and 3, the latter of which is exactly who I'm trying to reach. And all I have to do to prove they exist is look at the comments on the original videos. The thing that Group 4, the defensive skeptics, doesn't seem to get is that my debunking videos and debunking videos in general aren't for them. They're for the people who are looking for an explanation or are at least curious about it. But I have good news, Group 4. This is a video made just for you. You don't believe ghosts are real, I get that, but you also don't seem to believe that people who believe in ghosts are real, despite a mountain of evidence to the contrary. So the rest of this video has been made just for you. And just like Junji Ito's Enigma of Amigara Fault, I think you'll find it's a perfect fit.
He's doing this like fourth wall stuff too. This is funny.
How is it so far? Oh, the video? It's fine. We're in Group 5, I guess. Oh, nice. What's my group called? Group 5 is Annoying Contrarians.
That's a good one.
Wow. Okay, look, I didn't mean that, okay? One little criticism and you crumble. I just felt like you were missing the point of that whole section. All videos are useful for some people, but not others. Listen, okay? I need this. It's been building for years. I just really need to make this one point, okay? I really need to be necessary. Yeah, right. Of course. You know, for me,
Okay, so he's been doing the debunking for years. I love that. This is so funny. This is so well done.
I actually really enjoy being unnecessary. There's a certain freedom in being like extraneous. You know? No, I don't. So, where were we? A
few moments later.
These are exactly the people I have in mind when I'm making a debunking video. This is a demonstrably staged clip that these people are reacting in fear to. And finally, possibly my least favorite pattern of comments I saw on these clip videos are ones that claimed certain clips were evidence of superstitious belief.
I don't know if he's going to get into it, but I know I talked about it in my John Edward video. There's a term for it when someone is like a believer in something and you try to shake their belief system and they will get actually angry because it's like it's a psychological reaction. And he can say that his videos are for these people, but you can't get through to these people until they're ready to hear it. Like that's the thing. They're not ready to hear it if they get angry at all. Like if they believe too strongly, they will get angry and then they're not ready to hear it still, you know? They'll seek it out when they're ready, and that's the thing. I wonder if I can find the word for this, but it's called cognitive dissonance. And it is The mental disturbance people feel when they realize their cognitions and actions are inconsistent or contradictory. This may ultimately result in some change in their cognitions or actions, to cause greater alignment between them so as to reduce this dissonance. Essentially, if you try to push, they'll experience psychological stress and then they'll get angry, and some actually get like violent. They'll get discomfort triggered by the person's belief clashing with the new information perceived. And then the individual will try to find a way to resolve the contradiction to reduce their discomfort. Most of the time it is in anger. This is on Wikipedia if you want to read more about it. There's a lot of detail to cognitive dissonance.
My grandma used to warn us to never go home right after visiting a cemetery, or else spirits will follow you home. This is the top comment on one of Nuke's top 5 recent videos.
Be an example, if you try to challenge this person's belief that they grew up with, they would get angry. Like they grew up with this belief. So this one's ingrained hard.
Never open the door if you hear knocks or a weird noise. You're giving whatever it is permission to enter your life. Again, this really sounds like someone that takes the paranormal clips in these videos very seriously.
Honestly, like I have some of this particular knocking on the door and like letting in a spirit or whatever might be out there. Like that's ingrained from when I grew up, like my childhood, right? My beliefs. And I still believe it. But honestly, it's like I will answer the door if it's the daytime, but it's like 4 a.m. Regardless, it might just be a person and they're scary anyway. So I just don't answer the door. Yeah. I'm going to try to like not include his whole video in this video. So if it's choppy throughout all this, that's why I do want you to go watch his whole video. I just really resonated with some of the terms that he was saying because I've noticed the same in my audience. Like, let me bring up my post actually. Okay, so if we take a look, oh, there's nothing incriminating on my browser here. If we take a look here, see, I put here, I'm curious who will watch my stuff. Are you a skeptic, a skeptical believer, a skeptic who wants to believe, or 100% believer? That's how I organize them. I do like his organization as well. I think that he came up with some interesting terms. So like I was kind of curious because I feel like the majority of us are sort of here. And then I have some here, and these people are also in that unicorn area. There are also people who, well, actually, no, it's kind of like it's a toss up. These two kind of flip because they want to believe, but some of them already do believe in some stuff. So his organization is a little bit different from how I've organized it. It is interesting, but I understand what he's trying to do. But I was just kind of curious. This is funny because I was just kind of curious who watches what. And that's why I put this out. And then I see his video and I'm just watching it now. And I'm like, oh my God, I had the exact same thought like 2 days ago or a day ago when I posted this thing.
I'm very happy that it's been resonating with so many people. I've been feeling uninspired with it lately. I mean, there's only so many times I can point out that REM pods are unreliable or that a shadow could have been added in post.
This is why I mix up my content. For any of you guys who watch, you may have like realized I do mix it up quite a bit. I do like I'll do a psychic video once a month, a Warren's video once a month, and then I'm doing the midweek video. I'm mixing it up now. I'm going to be throwing out some new stuff that's going to be interesting as well this year. I'm going to be throwing out some like theory crafting / like sort of like just for fun thought exercises, but like not skeptical or not critical thinking, just kind of like fun. Like, hey, what if we believed in this, or what if this, or whatever. I'm not saying anything's true, but I just want a bit of like something entertaining, right? So this is where one of the commenters on my community post was saying that he's like switching up what he's going to be doing for videos, which I hope that he still does some paranormal stuff once in a while, but I understand what he's saying because there's only so many times you can debunk these like ghost clips. That's why I mix up my content with different topics. So
after a certain point, making repetitive debunking videos, I would wonder at that point in this hypothetical, who I'm helping. If it starts to feel like I'm just making videos for group 1, who, like I said earlier in the video, don't need them, then I feel like I'm at the point where the videos aren't useful anymore. There's a short video from one of my favorite creators, Captain Disillusion, who's done way
Captain Disillusion is really good too. If you guys don't know of him and you want to watch like a scientific and critical thinking channel as well, go check him out too.
more debunking than I have. where he basically laments the fact that no matter how thoroughly you demonstrate that a video on the internet, let's say, doesn't add up, in the end, it's a losing uphill battle. Keep up the great work, CD. Don't let him get you down. Now, I don't exactly feel that way yet, but I can definitely see myself feeling like that in the future if I keep nitpicking Nuke's top 5, for example.
I see what he's saying now. Like he's saying that he's been doing too many of these ghost clips and ghost hunters on YouTube. I find when he does like one of these video essays, those are the ones that I've watched, and those are the ones I've noticed most of the skeptical YouTubers have watched. We don't watch all the debunking of specific clips because everyone's doing it, and it's just like, you know, you only have so much time in the day. I think he does really good with these video essays, and if he took like things that he's debunked from these ghost clips, like what he did with, you know, recently with that other video, which I can't remember the name of it, I'll have to try to find it, where he pretty much pointed out like Nukes is using sound effects, these people might be AI, like, and he did like a video essay that really resonated well with the skeptical believers, or the whatever, the first group that I can't remember the name that he gave them. That resonated really well with us. So I think he does really good with these video essays. I would like encourage him to make more stuff like this. And if he wants to combine like work into a video essay, like combine multiple things together, I think that would go over really well. Yeah.
I'm hoping this year to expand beyond just paranormal stuff. I'd like to look at conspiracy theories, influencer scams, and just general misinformation. Not to be a dead horse or self-elevate too much, but
Great to see him do all this different stuff. I would love it. Yeah. It's this video here. Are these YouTubers lying to you? This was great for your first group. John, you're not going to watch this. Your first group, this was great. We were all talking about this video. These video essays, really good, really good. I would say, yeah, like this one's really good. Do like this and this. Why even debunk anything? You know, we're all gonna watch this. You know, but yeah. Anyway, that is this video. We'll see how ripped up I can make it. I don't want to take too much of his video. Go check out his stuff as always. I know you guys who watch my channel also watch him anyway. I know you're watching it anyhow. I shared his video last night on my community tab. Please go check out the rest of his stuff though, and go check out the Are These YouTubers Lying to You as well. And there's my phone. So yeah, go check it out and I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Have a good one. Don't worry about what to watch next because I have linked a video, or if you want to sit and watch things for a little bit longer, a whole playlist on the side here. Go ahead and click those now to keep watching.